things that's so exciting about the series, and here we are in this beautiful barn. This is a house concert, and we've been welcomed here by Brian and Lindsay Shea, who are so enthusiastic and so supportive of what we do, and they really get it.
We met Andy about 5 years ago, going to his music festival, and we said, well, you want a venue in the country, here we are. We restored this old 1852 apple barn about 8 or 10 years ago. Took out the old loft and made it into like a concert venue. We surprisingly found out with Andy that it has incredible acoustics. And we thought the pastoral setting with Baroque music would do very well.
What I love particularly musically about what we're going to be doing in this concert is that we have 4 violinists, all of them very strong players, very committed, exciting musicians, and each one with an entirely different personality. And I think to some extent we have the right personality with the right concerto. Adriane is such a lyrical creature in the world, and Spring is the most lyrical of all the concertos.
In the Four Seasons are all of these characters and vignettes and birds and bubbling brooks and wind and breeze and all these little ideas that Vivaldi has put right into the music, and we have to decide how to make it sound like what he's depicting on our instruments. And you know, there's a lot of tradition involved in how to do that, and it's also nice to try new things and really listen with fresh ears and decide, am I convinced by that gesture? Am I convinced by that bird or that brook or that breeze? And try something.
Tanya, Russian Tanya, is absolutely tempestuous and full of fire. It's perfect for the storms of summer.
Everyone likes playing Vivaldi. As a violinist, especially, he was a very good violinist himself. He really knew how the instrument worked. And so his concertos are always very impressive and very, for the public, it's definitely a crowd pleaser.
Olivier has a kind of bubbling enthusiasm to everything he approaches, with a level of extraordinary intelligence, which is ideal for the kind of raucous bacchanal and hunting of fall.
This concert is very special because it's a feast. It's a feast of every season. We begin today, fall. Yeah, but and especially the feeling of feast is enhanced by the location, this beautiful barn, which is quite old and inspiring for us historical performers, because this barn is made like 18th century barns or 19th century barns. So early music is perfect in this space. The acoustic is fine, and the contact with the audience is great as well.
Andrew has characterized winter with a great deal of humor and intelligence. So every concerto belongs to the person who's playing it, and so people will see 4 paintings by different artists.
One of the devices that he uses very effectively is playing sul ponticello. So you play very near the bridge, and it creates this icy, gritty quality that it feels frozen. It feels like it's bound up, the sound, as your muscles sort of tense up when you're really, really cold and you're trying to bear with the freezing elements all around you. This sense of tension and everything previously alive being sort of encased in a sheet of ice. That particular effect is used throughout, particularly the first and third movements, and I think it really conveys this quality of just excruciating cold.
And in addition, we have our Pascale Beaudin, our soprano, who's doing arias that fit so well, 2 arias by Vivaldi and 1 exquisitely romantic and maybe a little erotic song by Barbara Strozzi to frame the concertos.
I sing 2 Vivaldi arias, one called Zeffiretti che sussurrate, that talks to the winds and asks the winds and asks nature to tell my beloved that I long for him and I miss him. And the other aria is about a heart being like in a storm between duty and love, being torn between both. So it's a whole program about nature.
So I think we're actually putting these pieces out to the audience in a way that is unique and that will make them hear them for the first time, in a way, even though they've heard them 100 times before.
Always been a dream to use the space for music opera of many different levels of musical experience or endeavors by lots of groups up here.
For 24 or 25 years, we've developed a community in the county of people who feel very strongly that, that they welcome us into their homes, whether it's large living rooms, barns, and that becomes a community.
And